So we're on day 2 now of Tekashi 6ix9ine, the rapper, snitching on the 9 Trey Blood gang. On day 1 we saw Tekashi introduce himself to the court, and the gist was that Tekashi had used his money to buy membership in the gang. He didn't have to be jumped in, he didn't have to do any initiation rituals, and the gang for their part were just milking this guy dry. Tekashi was able to sell more music by coming across as an authentic G, when really the whole thing was as fake as Rick Ross stealing the name of Freeway Ricky Ross, the coke dealer who went to prison for a very long time. So on day 2 there was an interruption in the court proceedings because the judge found out that 10 minutes of audio from day 1 had been leaked onto YouTube. I've listened to the audio of Tekashi in court from day 1, and I am gonna probably have that on the channel by tonight here in the UK. So a lot more detail on day 2 about the problems between each other, the beefs, how beefs were settled, who's threatening who, who's kidnapping who. So I've got the specifics right in front of me. Let me give you what happened. So before the news of the leak of the audio reached the judge, Tekashi spent the day on the witness stand recounting numerous violent and criminal incidents that he had participated in with the 9 Trey Bloods. Beefs with people like Trippie Redd, Casanova and Chief Keef. And then the day had a main story of how 6ix9ine was robbed by Ellison and an accomplice named Shaun. So Ellison, Trey Blood member, we're talking Anthony, Harv, Ellison. These are the 2 co-defendants now that Tekashi's testifying against, and Aljamaiyah Nuke Mac. These are the ones that refuse to sign a plea bargain, so they're taking it to trial. If you do take something to trial and you lose, heaven help you, because they will make an example out of you. See the video on my YouTube channel, What is a Plea Bargain? If you don't take a plea bargain, super maximum aggravated sentences is what they hang out. So the dramatic story included a beating, a filmed gang disavowal, and a ride in a stranger's car accompanied by a wild video taken from the inside of the car of 6ix9ine's driver, Jorge Rivera. So this is the story of how he was robbed. Tekashi was robbed. So in the court, 6ix9ine testified about just months after he had met members of 9 Trey at the video shoot for Gummo. He gave them tens of thousands of dollars, actually $85,000, meant to support gang members both in and out of prison. So money in these organizations, the leaders, the founders of a lot of these gangs are out of prison. Aryan Brotherhood gang started out of California prison system. Mexican Mafia, California prison system. And these guys, the shot callers, the biggest shot callers, the complete leaders, the money filters back from the streets into the prison system up to those guys. That's how all of this is structured. If you don't kick down to the boss and you're doing activity in the name of the gang and they find out, then you better come up with that money quickly, or else you are seriously going to be dealt with. Similar structure as to how it is in the Mafia. Paul Castellano, Gambino's, he's up in his house that was a replica of the White House, prancing around in his silk pajamas. That money better keep flowing up to him, or else he's going to put a hit out on you. But eventually his own men put a hit on him. They turned it around. So it sounds like that they got a similar structure here. Money from Tekashi is flowing to the shot callers in prison. That's what that means. 6ix9ine said his former manager, Shotty, who also a gang member, 9 Trey, had explained to him that the money was meant to buy guns in case they had to be ready for war. So these gangs, the biggest profit opportunity for them is usually the drugs game, and when you're in the drugs game there's always rivals gonna step on your toes. So these guys are ready for war, take care of business, take care of beefs. Much of the day was taken up with explanations of the internal 9 Trey beef. Most prominently, attorney Michael Longyear, who was questioning, took time to lay out the beef between Jordan and Ellison. So 6ix9ine said, "I'm pleading with Harv," this is Ellison, "I'm telling him, don't shoot. I gave you everything. I put money in your pocket. I told him I was tired of being extorted." They didn't like each other, 6ix9ine said. He said that Ellison thought that Jordan was loud and vocal, but would allow disrespect of the gang. Harv always pulled Shotty's card. Tekashi said he didn't feel like Shotty was a true gangster. So the disagreements the government shared in numerous texts between the two as evidence, which led ultimately to Ellison being cut out of 6ix9ine's career. Things got bad enough that the formerly tight-knit 9 Trey crew splintered into 4 pieces, according to Tekashi. We're all attacking each other at the same time. They put me in a position where I had to pick a side, and I chose Shotty's side. Parts of 6ix9ine's testimony weren't concerned with the inter-gang violence, focused on his beefs with rappers like Trippy, Keef, Casanova, and the people behind Houston's Rap-A-Lot Records, the last of which 6ix9ine called a wannabe mafia type of thing. After speaking about Trippy on Tuesday, 6ix9ine added on Wednesday, described how he had helped arrange a November 2017 assault on Trippy in a New York City hotel. He said, recounted secretly going to a Trippy video shoot in Brooklyn, waiting for him to leave, and following his car for well over an hour back to a Manhattan hotel. Once there, Jordan and Ellison attacked Trippy at his hotel, assaulted him. Ellison punched Trippy in the mouth. I remember being followed around a lot prior to the SWAT team raids on the Enterprise. I didn't know whether it was rivals, had some kind of beef, wanted to jack me, or undercover cops, but it all came out later in the police reports that the undercover cops had put a device, a tracking device, a satellite tracking device on my car. Because one time I was in this twin turbo Mazda RX-7, I lost this convoy of cars that was following me, got back on the motorway, further up the motorway they were all come out in right behind me again. I'm thinking, I've took too many drugs, how can this even be possible? I must be getting really paranoid. But no, they gave up on regular pursuits because I would lose them, so the court authorised them to put a tracking device on my Mazda RX-7. So 6ix9ine also gave context to the infamous brawl at 2018 Yams Day concert in the New York Expo Center in the Bronx. He said it started because Jordan, who at that time did not have a large public profile, wasn't allowed to be near the performers, and a brawl with the security, the bouncers, happened. The rapper broke down, what led to his fight at LAX airport, which also involved Ellison. When asked if he took part in the brawl personally, 6ix9ine said, "Yeah, but I didn't land any punches." I took a drag of weed, but I didn't inhale. When testifying about Casanova, 6ix9ine said that after Cassie's diss song, Set Trippin', came out, 6ix9ine was determined to run down on his rap rival. 6ix9ine's then friend, Seco Billy, offered caution in some text messages shown in the courtroom, saying that Casanova's blood set the apes would retaliate, is what Seiko wrote to a group chat. There's a kite out saying if any apes happen to cross your path to fire on you or anybody around you, smarten up. But then Ellison said, apes can fight on this dick, they don't want to war with billies, which means 9 tray. 6ix9ine said what went down on 2018 South by Southwest show in Austin, Texas. He couldn't perform for 2 reasons. Rap-A-Lot personnel were mad that he didn't check in and show proper respect when visiting Texas, had barricaded the stage. Wow. Second, Ellison and Billy Ato, 9 tray members, who were by then on the outs of 6ix9ine Jordan, had shown up uninvited to threaten him. What a mess Tekashi 6ix9ine created by getting in the mix with these characters. And now look at the situation he's in. So he also detailed violent acts that they had committed, the gang. 2008 Chief Keef shooting, 6ix9ine said, began with my female friend, Cuban. A shooting at Frenchie BSM, who was acting as security for Trippie Redd during March 2008 New York City visit. April 2018 armed robbery of a Rap-A-Lot artist in Midtown Manhattan. 6ix9ine filmed that. And several Brooklyn shootings on April 21st, 2008, including at the Barclays Center. These incidents were accompanied by surveillance video. So Tekashi's giving these guys all this money, they're milking it out of him, and he's participating in acts that can send you away for decades. My enterprise, it was a non-violent enterprise as far as the court system went. What happened was that it's only drugs offences. If we'd have had guns, if we'd had crimes of violence charged against us, I'd probably still be in prison right now. So, although Wildman did some crazy stuff on his own accord outside of the organisation, then, you know, there were no violent felonies against us. But with these guys, guns, drugs and acts of violence, you're facing life sentences right there, because when you add in guns and violence to drug offences, that's how under the court system they can give you way more time. It's just such a higher class felony because it's considered so much more serious by the court. So the conclusion of day 2, 6ix9ine's account of Ellison robbing and kidnapping him. And there was actually a video shown from inside the car. 6ix9ine was riding in. I told everybody that was with me, no photos, don't ever take anything, documenting anything. So, you know, these people are running around committing these serious felonies and filming themselves. It's all evidence that's going to come out to the police. The car was wired for sound and video. Oh, there was a cooperating witness in the case. So in this case, alright, they were set up, but look at all the other stuff Tekashi's done, that the Bloods have done, dumbass things that they've videoed. Tekashi even, you know, his sex offence, where he's got the underage girl, I think he was spanking her from behind or something like that. She's naked, putting a video out there. It does not show prison or courtroom intelligence. So the video shows the car stopping, Shaun and Ellison demanding 6ix9ine get out. After the driver attempts to follow the car 6ix9ine's being forced into, resulting in a chase through the streets of downtown Brooklyn. I'm pleading with Harv, 6ix9ine said. I'm telling him, don't shoot. I gave you everything. I put money in your pocket. I told him I was tired of being extorted. Shaun pinned him on the floor and kept hitting him until he realised he was being filmed. Harv said, say you, not Billy. 6ix9ine said, I said it 3 times. He desperately remembered offering the kidnappers $100,000 if they kept him alive until the bank opened in the morning. Instead, they settled on taking his jewellery, which they took from his house in a pink Mickey Mouse diaper bag. 6ix9ine escaped and jumped into a stranger's car. He has to be driven to a police precinct where he got medical treatment. He ended up at a hospital in Long Island where he got a CAT scan and concussion medication. One of the most dramatic moments came when he explained that Jordan and others were planning retaliation for the robbery, and Jordan came to the meeting with an assault rifle, which was actually produced in court. The courtroom was full on Wednesday. One late visitor showing up at the end of the day's proceedings was the rapper Troy Ave. He was there, he said, to show support for Aljamaiyah Nuke Mac. Mac's a good guy, he said to reporters, "I don't know about the picture they're painting. As far as I know, he was trying to get into the music business." Troy Ave also had thoughts on the case. Realistically, these types of cases happen all the time, but now there's a bigger spotlight on it. Is it as big as Shine and Puff? I just hope they see Nuke for the guy I know him as. We'll see what happens. So this is going to be going on all week, and a lot of people asking about more Epstein stuff. I will be going back on the True Geordie podcast this weekend. We are filming in Saturday in London, Camden. A whole podcast just with me going on at this time to talk about Epstein. Well, the Epstein subject is so hot, so looking at getting Wildman back on it to do his prison stories on the next possible occasion on True Geordie, if they're kind enough to have us on. I've also got 4 podcast guests I'm filming with for the True Crime podcast next week. We've got another ex-cop, and we have also got David McMillan. So if you do have any questions for David McMillan that he has not already answered in his previous podcasts, please put those questions for David McMillan in the comments below this video. Appreciate all your support and subscriptions. If you want to subscribe, it's free. The subscription icon is in the bottom left hand corner of this video. Do read all the comments, read all your emails. I don't have time to get back to everybody on these things, but I do feel all of your love and support from all over the world. So cheers, take care out there.